All right, let's get into it. What do basketball, human rights, and pro wrestling have in common? Enes Kanter Freedom. That's who. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm energized by today's topic, bestie. Matcha in hand, 405 finally moving, and yes, we're going there. So picture this. A Turkish-American NBA center who rebounds like a menace, then turns the court into a billboard for human rights. That's Enes Kanter Freedom, former Jazz, Thunder, Knicks, Blazers, Celtics. He literally changed his legal last name to Freedom in 2021 as a statement. And yes, he even grabbed a WWE title for one chaotic minute. Iconically unserious and dead serious at the same time. Quick story time. Last year in Silver Lake, a boutique tried to push a collab with a brand rumored to use sketchy labor. I'm at the launch. A PR girl whispers, "Don't make it a thing." And I'm like, I'm sorry, but if people are suffering so we can buy mid-canvas totes, that's a no-go. I post receipts, my DMs go feral. A friend texts, "Keep your head down, Em." And then I remember this one player wearing shoes that said Free Tibet and Free Uyghur during actual NBA games. That week, Chinese platforms stopped streaming Boston Celtics games. I'm like, oh, so being loud does ripple. Who is he, high-key? Enes Kanter Freedom was born in the early 90s in Switzerland to Kurdish-Turkish parents, grew up in Turkey, and moved to the US as a teen to chase hoops. He trained with Fenerbahce's youth team in Europe, got ruled ineligible by the NCAA at Kentucky over benefits from that club scene, and still went third overall in the 2011 NBA draft to Utah. Across 11 seasons, he averaged about 11 points and 8 boards. Think glass eater, put back king, interior touch for days. Timeline hits lightning round. Utah to OKC, where he and Steven Adams, a New Zealand center, became the Stash Bros. Fans ate it up. New York Knicks era. Christmas Day, 30 and 20 club. Very cute. Portland era. In 2021, he pulls a ridiculous 30 rebounds in one game, a franchise record. That's big man slay. And then Boston again, where the activism fully stepped into the spotlight. End of 2021. He becomes a US citizen and changes the last name to Freedom. Branding with purpose, honey. Okay, let's move on. The people orbiting him. First, Fethullah Gulen, a Turkish cleric whose Hizmet movement pushes education and service. Ankara labels it terrorist after 2016. Enes went to Hizmet-linked schools and praises Gulen's values, which put him on a collision course with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey's president with massive power. The fallout gets grim. His dad, a professor, lost his job. Turkey tried legal pressure. His passport got cancelled in 2017, and he was briefly stranded in Romania. ESPN even reported the FBI gave him an emergency contact device because of threats. The stakes were not theoretical. Then China. Xi Jinping, China's leader, becomes a target of Enes's criticism around censorship, Tibet, and forced labor tied to Uyghurs. Uyghurs are a Turkic Muslim minority in Xinjiang, where rights groups allege mass abuses. Enes launches custom protest shoes. One pair said Free China, with Winnie the Pooh art co-designed by Badiou Chao, a Chinese-Australian dissident artist. And yes, those game night shoes were not just a fit. Chinese platforms stopped streaming Celtics games after his posts. The man treated sneakers like billboards and hit the global feed. Politics lane, real quick. He's met with U.S. lawmakers from both parties. Nancy Pelosi, former House Speaker, and Mike Johnson, current Speaker, have both sat with him on rights issues. He even attended the State of the Union as Johnson's guest in 2024. And he said he wants to run for Congress when eligible in 2028. His Middle East takes are complex. After Hamas's attack in 2023, he condemned Hamas. But in 2026, he also funded a public iftar in Gaza, feeding 1,000 families. It's giving principle over party, which I respect. Okay, big unanswered question, the tea you all DM about. Was he pushed out of the NBA because of his activism? Enes says yes, straight up. The timeline is messy. His China posts blow up in 2021. Celtics games vanish off Chinese platforms. And by early 2022, he's traded and then waived. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, publicly denied any punishment, saying Enes had a right to speak. Counter-argument from analysts. Rosters are math. He's an elite rebounder, but teams targeted him on defense. Switching era small ball shrinks that role, and cap slots get tight. My take, it's both. Activism clearly raised the political temperature. That's undeniable when an entire market blackouts a team. But also, there isn't a courtroom-level smoking gun of a blacklist. And basketball fit reality is real. It's a tightrope. He walked it without a net. Pop culture flexes, because you know I live for the crossover. WWE moment, 2019, Madison Square Garden. The 24/7 Championship. This is a comedy title you can win anytime. He pins R-Truth, a longtime WWE performer, flashes a Celtics jersey to a very New York boo, then loses the belt back in minutes. Unserious theater, maximum headlines. Also, he's sparred online with MJF, a top heel in AEW wrestling, which tells you Enes understands kayfabe, the whole performance psychology thing. And because he loves a culture war curveball, in 2026, he declared for the 2027 WNBA draft based on self-identification. The WNBA, top women's pro league here, responded with a statement about justice and inclusion, and also pushed back on using trans people as political pawns. I read that as the league saying, "We're not playing gotcha with human beings." It was a loud gesture from Enes, and it forced clarity in a space that loves vibes but hates rules lawyering. Very 2020s discourse energy. If I were him, balancing fame, safety, and a conscience would feel like walking a runway over the 101 in heels. One gust of corporate money, one angry government, and you wobble. But also, sometimes you plant, you pivot, you board number 30, and you own the paint. Not me getting sentimental about rebounds, but here we are. Next time, we're digging into another athlete turned activist who reshaped the conversation. Think taking a knee and rewriting the playbook. You're not ready. Signing off, babe. Go slay the day like a true freedom fighter. And I said what I said. So, that's the tea, folks. Major food for thought, right?